Hello students, myself Snehal Arun Sagre. Today we will discuss the part about your Arduino. So let's start. Arduino, as we are well familiar with it, a microcontroller board that contains on board power supply along with the USB port to communicate with the PC, and it also includes a ATMEL microcontroller chip. For simplifying the process of creating any of the control system, it has a standard board which is to be programmed and connected to the system. So, without any of the need of sophisticated PCB design and implementation, we could control out your Arduino with respect to your Arduino software. So, it is an open source hardware. Anyone can get its detail of its design and modify it and make it its own one himself. So, why we are preferring out Arduino? So, it is a cross-platform. It's simple, clear programming environment, open source, and extensible software as well as a hardware, and it's inexpensive. The features: Arduino's platform is one of the most used open source hardware in the world. It is an open source physical computing platform which is based on input output board and a development environment that implements processing language. It also provides a powerful microcontroller on a small printed circuit. Users preferably could download the Arduino IDE, that is Integrated Development Environment, known to be a software, and code their own programming using the basic languages that are C or C++. And Arduino code library is being readily available that provides a lot of useful functions and features for which are required for operating of Arduino. So Arduino's platform is having out the following details of specifications. So let us see one by one. Firstly, it includes microcontroller at Mega 328. Operating voltage is concerned to 5 volt and 3.3 volt. The input voltage which is recommended is taken from 7 to 12 volt, while as input voltage is limited out with the capacity of 6 to 20 volt. Digital input output pins are 14 in total number, whereas out of 14, 6 are PWM pins. Analog input pins are taken out to be 6. DC current, if you prefer out for input and output pins, it is 40 milliampere. Whereas DC current which is preferred to voltage of 3.3 volt, the pins are given out with respect to 50 milliampere. Along with this memory interface, if we could talk, flash memory is being used up, which is 32 kilobytes and which is preferred for Atmega 328, of which 0.5 kilobytes is being referred out. Nextly, SRAM, which is of 2 KB. Same EEPROM, that is of 1 kilobyte. The clock speed which is taken out with respect to a clock rate, that is 16 megahertz. Nextly, we will see what is Arduino IDE. It is nothing but an integrated development environment that is referred to be Arduino IDE, which is a Arduino software. It includes a text editor for writing your code, nextly a message area, and lastly a text console, a toolbar with the number of tabs and buttons for a common functions and a series of menus. It connects to Arduino and hardware to upload a program and communicate with it. So now this is your window if you could open up with the software to get a familiarized with. So these tabs are used up with respect to the key functions provided with respect to submenus. If you want to access up with the controls, you could see up the below tabs. This is your text area where you're supposed to write and edit up your program. Nextly, you could see up the resulting processes if in the below area. Let us see one by one function of each of the tabs. So writing a program, firstly, you should be known with the basic thing. So programs written in Arduino software are known to be sketches. So whenever the word sketches is used is referred to be program. These sketches are written in the text editor and saved with an extension file which should be always written with .ino. The editor has features of cutting as well as pasting and for searching as well as replacing the text. The message area gives feedback while saving and exporting out the display's error. So the errors, if you want to see out, it are been displayed out in the black portion which is below down. A toolbar. First toolbar, if you could see up, is being provided up in which below your file, edit, sketch and tools and help. So the first tick which is given out is nothing but your verify. So that checks your code for errors and compiles it. Next is your upload. So this compiles your code and uploads it to the configured board. Next is new. It creates a new sketch. Open presents a menu of all the sketches in your sketchbook. Next is save, and save is nothing but saves your sketch. So let us see now main tabs. This is your first file tab in which you could see the n number of options have been provided. So let us see one by one. So additional commands are being seen in file are new, open, open recent, sketchbook and examples, which are mostly used up. So new, as we know, it creates a new instance of the editor. Open. It allows to load a sketch file browsing through the computer drives and folders which are stored in your computer. Open recent. Open recent provides a short list of most recent sketches that you have recently been closed up. Sketchbook. This shows the current sketches within the sketchbook folder structure. Clicking on any of the name opens the corresponding sketch in the new editor instance. Examples. The examples provided here are through the Arduino software library, which shows up a menu of items to be displayed there, and there is sub-examples of each of the topic to be accessed through the library. Next, close. This closes the instance of the Arduino software. Save. This will save your sketch with the correct name. Save as. This allows to save your current sketch with a different name. Page setup. It shows the page setup window for printing. Print. Sends the current sketch to the printer according to the setting defined in the page setup. Preferences. This opens the preferences window where some setting of your IDE must be customized as the language preferred out by the IDE. Quit. It closes up all the IDE windows. So this is all about your file menu. Now next one, which is the edit tab. So in edit, let us see one by one what all the functions are. Edit includes first step as undo or redo. It goes back to one step or more step you did while editing. So here you could have the both. Next, cut. It removes the selected text from the editor and places it to the clipboard. Copy. Copy. It duplicates your selected text. Copy for forum. The copies the code of your sketch to the clipboard in the form suitable for posting to the forum, and this is with complete syntax coloring. Copy as HTML. So copies the code of your sketch to the clipboard as a HTML format and suitable for embedding in the web pages. Nextly, paste. Puts the content of the clipboard at the cursor position in the editor text. Select all. It selects and highlights the whole content of the editor. So if the edit tab has been seen out, you could see the copying and pasting out is been in how many formats. Comment and uncomment or uncomment. Puts or removes out the double slash comment marker at the beginning of each of the selected line. So when we are supposed to write a comment, you use up this text. Increase or decrease indent. This is used to add up a space in beginning or at the end of the selected text line. Find. It opens and find or replace up the window where you can specify the text. Find next. It highlights the next occurrence, if any, of the string specified of the selected search item. Find previous. Highlights the previous occurrence, if any, of the string specified. The third main tab includes app sketch. So sketch, it first includes verify or compiling up, to which the shortcut is also been provided in the subtab. So it checks out your sketch for errors, compiles it, and it will present out a report in the memory usage for codes or variables in the console area which is provided in the program window. Upload. It compiles and loads the binary file on the configured board through the configured port. Upload. Using programmer. The upload which is upward is different as compared to upload using programmer. So this will overwrite your bootloader on the board. And this also provides up you with the full capacity of the flash memory of your sketch. So this tab should be used up with carefully. Export compiled binary. It saves out with the .hex file that makes it kept as archived, and later on you can send it with respect to board using your online other tools. Show sketch folder. This will open up your current sketch folder which was being closed up. Include library. Adds a library to your sketch by inserting #include statements at the start of your coding. Add file. Adds a source file to the sketch, and the file appears in the next tab, which is new tab for the sketch window, and you could be accessible by clicking up a small triangle icon which is provided there with the right side of your toolbar. Tools. Auto format. This formats your code nicely, that is indents it so that opening and closing of curly braces lines up. This is very important. Archive sketch. This will archive a copy of your current sketch in .zip format, and the archive is placed in the same directory where your sketch has been placed up. Fix encoding and reload. Fixes possible discrepancies between your editor char map encoding and other operating systems char maps. Nextly, serial monitor. This will open up your serial monitor window and initiates the exchange of data with any of the connected board on the currently selected port. This usually resets your board and will allow your reset over serial port opening up. Lastly, board. Select your board that you are using up, and it includes the description of the boards too. Port. This menu contains all your serial devices, that is real or virtual, on your machine. It should automatically refresh every time you open up your top level tools menu. So if you could see up the main window as well, you could see up your port and your round Arduino which has been selected out at the downmost part which you are using up on the main screen. So next is programmer. For selecting a hardware programmer when programming a board or chip and not using it on board, that is USB serial connection, normally you can use up this. So you are not needing this every time, but you can have the use of it once. Burn bootloader. These items in this menu allow you to burn a bootloader onto the microcontroller on the Arduino board. So you have to ensure that you have selected the current board which is correctly been connected out with respect to the board connection, and while selecting out you can target out the board with respect to Arduino board selected and set up its right level. Last is your help. Help, what it includes, let us see one by one. So help, as everyone knows, here you find out easy access to the number of documents that come with the Arduino software. You have access to getting started, reference, and this is preferred to be the most guided one to use for the newly users or the user which are not familiar with the Arduino IDE, and other documents which are locally available with respect to your Arduino software library without an internet connection. So the documents are a local copy of the online ones and they may link back to your online website. So where you can access up with respect to your detailed queries. Find and reference. This is the only interactive function of the help menu where it directly selects the relevant page in the local copy of the reference for the function or the command under the cursor.